We're going to translate the questions in English. His responses will be in Spanish, and we'll translate that response. Hirving, primeramente para iniciar, ¿cómo calificas la temporada del San Diego y para ti en lo personal ser parte de este año histórico para el club?
Oh, muy contento, muy feliz de hacer un gran torneo, de participar en esto que es tan bonito, el club de San Diego y todo lo que genera y la ciudad, la gente. La verdad que muy contento, muy feliz y muy agradecido de todo.
Can you tell us about what it's been like for you to be part of the season and how you qualified the season for San Diego? Yeah, I'm very happy. First and foremost, on a great tournament. It's a beautiful club. What this club is able to generate in the city. I'm very happy here with the club and with the city.
Chucky, you had mentioned at the post game that you finished with a lot of health in the season. How did you feel fitness-wise now in the end of the season?
No, la verdad que muy bien, me siento muy contento, muy feliz, físicamente me siento muy bien, gracias a Dios acabamos de la mejor manera, sin ninguna lesión y la verdad que muy feliz de todo lo que pasó.
Yeah, I feel great. Physically, we finished well without any injury, so overall, I feel great about it.
And then coming into next season, there's been obviously decisions that are going to have to happen over the winter break, whether who's going to be part of the squad next year. Do you see yourself being part of the squad next year for San Diego FC?
Sí, claro que sí. Yo estoy con San Diego, tengo contrato, estoy muy feliz aquí. Hay que trabajar muy duro para la siguiente temporada y bueno, vamos a llegar de la mejor manera para hacer una gran temporada como la que hicimos este año.
Yeah, of course, I'm very happy here. I have a contract here with San Diego, and we have to come back and work hard next season for us to have a great season and have a great output.
Chucky, this is the first time you've been made available to talk about the incident that happened in October. I'd like to hear your side of what happened. If you could describe what happened and your feelings moving forward, how it was handled with the club and by you.
Es la primera vez que estás disponible a prensa desde el incidente en octubre. ¿Se nos puedes dar tu versión, cómo te sientes y cómo se manejó la situación?
No, yo creo que ese tema quedó en el pasado y bueno, ya eso quedó atrás y bueno, vamos a seguir adelante y vamos a seguir adelante con la mejor disposición.
No, I think that's a matter of the past. We're going to put that behind us and we're going to move forward with the best disposition.
And in terms of your immediate future, you've said that playing in the World Cup is very important for you. Do you feel like you can make a World Cup roster by staying here for the next 6 months, even though you might not be a starter? I mean, clearly you were not a starter in the last 5 games. Do you feel like you might need to go somewhere else to have a better chance to make World Cup?
Has comentado que para ti es importante estar bien para tener la oportunidad de ir al Mundial. ¿Tú crees que si permaneces aquí en San Diego, dado que no has sido titular en los últimos partidos, crees que tengas esa oportunidad?
Sí, claro que sí. Yo creo que el club y la gente que trabaja aquí vamos a trabajar de la mejor manera para que ese objetivo llegue y bueno, hay que estar en la mejor disposición, claro, y vamos a regresar de la mejor manera para que eso suceda, ¿no? Ese es mi objetivo y bueno, hay que prepararse al máximo.
Yeah, of course. I think here with the people at the club and myself, everyone that works here, we're going to work together in the best way possible to get to that goal. We're going to come in and be in the best position in order to get to our objective, to be in the best one possible.
And then last for me, just to be clear to understand, you will not entertain any offers to go somewhere else in the short term before the World Cup. You will 100% stay here.
Para preguntarte, ¿no entretenerás la posible ofertas de una salida a corto plazo para tener la oportunidad de ir al Mundial?
No, totalmente no. Yo estoy aquí, yo estoy feliz aquí con San Diego y pues mi mentalidad es estar aquí, apoyar al club, a los jugadores, al cuerpo técnico y a la directiva de la mejor manera y bueno, a llegar a ese objetivo de ir al Mundial y trabajando muy duro.
No, totally not. I'm very happy here in San Diego. My mentality is to be here and support the players, the coaching staff, the club and overall, to get into the best form possible and get to our objectives.
Chucky, how frustrating was the season? You dealt with the hamstring issue, the verbal altercation, if you will. You get sent to the bench, and if you could speak about how frustrating it was, but how much it motivates you to get back right next year and perform well.
¿Cuán frustrante pudo haber sido la temporada con lesiones, con incidente, no ser titular en los últimos partidos? Pero háblanos si eso puede ser algo de motivación para el próximo torneo.
No, claro que sí. Yo creo que a mí mi mayor motivación es que amo el fútbol, es mi pasión, es mi vida y siempre está enfrente eso, ¿no? Y bueno, jugar eso es lo que más amo y más me motiva. Y bueno, eso este año ya pasó, vamos a dejarlo atrás y vamos a enfocarnos en el siguiente año, que es muy importante para todos nosotros y bueno, vamos a trabajar de la mejor manera.
Yeah, of course, it's a great motivation for me. I think overall my greatest motivation is that football's my passion, it's my life. So playing is what motivates me. All the rest we leave it behind as the season's over. So we'll focus on what's next and we'll work the best way possible to come into the best form.
Hirving, ¿cuáles son las conversaciones con Javier Aguirre cuando estás allá con la selección acerca de tu tiempo aquí en San Diego, el estilo de juego que tiene San Diego?
Muy buenas. Lo poco, mucho que he hablado con él han sido pláticas muy buenas, muy positivas y bueno, la verdad que estoy muy contento de que me dé la oportunidad de estar en la selección.
¿Y cómo vivirás el evento para el Mundial, para saber los grupos, donde contra quién jugará la selección?
Va a estar muy bonito. Yo creo que lo voy a ver en la televisión y espero que nos toque un grupo bueno para la selección.
Esta fue una temporada histórica para San Diego. ¿Qué aprendiste como jugador y también del MLS?
Yo creo que aprendes muchas cosas, ¿no? Siempre en la vida, cada día aprendes algo nuevo y bueno, esta temporada fueron de muchos aprendizajes y bueno, la verdad que la MLS fue un torneo muy bonito, me gustó mucho, el nivel es muy bueno y la verdad que estoy muy contento de estar aquí.
¿Cómo sentiste, Chucky, haber venido desde Europa, adaptarte a la MLS, pero también sentir el apoyo de una afición en un equipo nuevo prácticamente?
Siempre es difícil, ¿no? Un cambio en todos los sentidos, familiar, personal, siempre es complicado, pero bueno, creo que hemos tratado de adaptarnos de la mejor manera y bueno, la verdad que muy feliz de que la gente estuviera tan metida en el equipo, que nos apoyara tanto y bueno, en lo personal, la verdad siempre la gente me ha dado un cariño muy especial y bueno, siempre se los agradezco mucho.
¿Y cómo sentiste de tu desempeño en el equipo? También hayas jugado con la selección, hayas vuelto a pesar de las lesiones y motivado prácticamente para el próximo año, ¿no?
La verdad que para mí fue un torneo muy bonito, lo sentí muy bonito y bueno, creo que aporté al equipo, aporté al club y bueno, tuve la oportunidad de regresar a la selección y eso para mí es algo increíble, maravilloso y bueno, ahora toca seguir en ese paso para poder llegar a mi objetivo, que es llegar al Mundial.
¿Y qué significaría para ti, Chucky, jugar el Mundial en casa? Algo que pocos jugadores tienen en la vida.
Sí, claro que sí, yo creo que como dices, son pocos jugadores que pueden tener esa posibilidad de jugar un Mundial en casa y creo que para mí sería un sueño. Un Mundial es algo increíble, gracias a Dios he vivido 2 y han sido maravillosos y bueno, ojalá que pueda tener esa oportunidad de jugar un tercero y luego en mi casa, creo que sería increíble. Yo creo que voy a trabajar muy duro para poder llegar a estar ahí.
Y ampliando la pregunta sobre el sorteo, ¿cómo piensas vivirlo? ¿En dónde? ¿Y a qué te refieres con un grupo bueno? ¿Es un grupo accesible? O, a ver.
Yo creo que pues van a tocar de todo tipo, ¿no? Yo creo que ahora hay más equipos, son más posibilidades que te toque diferentes equipos y bueno, yo creo que ojalá que nos toque un equipo que sea muy bueno para México y bueno, la verdad que muy contento, lo voy a vivir ahí en casa con mi familia y bueno, a ver el sorteo.
Fue una temporada histórica. ¿Cuál momento para ti fue el más memorable?
Yo creo que todo. Yo creo que todo el camino que se hizo en esta temporada fue fantástico, tanto para todos, ¿no? Equipo, club, directivos, staff, creo que todos han sido muy bonitos y bueno, yo creo que hay que quedarnos con eso. Sí te quedas con un sabor amargo de no poder seguir jugando, pero bueno, es así el fútbol, ¿no? Ahora toca descansar y regresar de la mejor manera.
¿Qué te gustaría decirle a la afición, ya que fueron el jugador 12, ¿verdad? Viajaron a verlos y estuvieron en el estadio presente.
No, que nos sigan apoyando, que esto está empezando, que vamos a tratar de llegar de la mejor manera para el siguiente torneo y que este es un camino largo. Ojalá que nos sigan apoyando y que sigan yendo al estadio y con tanto cariño como lo hicieron esta temporada.
We'll go to Charlie in English and then we'll take a couple questions in Zoom.
Chucky, could you speak about the joys but also the challenges and difficulties of a life living in the United States, adjusting to a new culture, and the challenges of the past few weeks for you personally?
Puedes hablar un poco de las alegrías y los retos de, bueno, comenzar una nueva vida en Estados Unidos y pues, bueno, pues en lo personal las últimas semanas.
No, yo creo que en todos los sentidos, ¿no? Siempre cuando cambias de país, cuando cambias de continente es complicado, pero bueno, así es, ¿no? Hay que adaptarse de la mejor manera y lo más rápido posible, pero bueno, yo creo que para mí y mi familia estamos muy contentos aquí en San Diego, es maravilloso y bueno, yo creo que con esta temporada que hicimos es una probadita de lo que se puede hacer y bueno, hay que seguir con los objetivos para el otro año y que sean mejores.
Yeah, no, in all the senses, when you change country and change continent, it's very complicated, but you have to adapt and adapt in the best way possible, in the quickest way possible. But overall, for me and my family, we're extremely happy here. It's a marvelous place, and I think with the season that we've had this year, it's just a taste of what's possible. And like I said earlier, we just continue working in the best way possible to continue getting to our objectives. Okay, we'll go to Zoom. We'll go with Tom and then Julian in English, and then we'll flip to the last two questions in Spanish with Emor and Jose.
Hola, Chucky. How much time did you spend in the community, maybe with young people, and what are your plans to be in the community this year as someone who's a role model for young people?
¿Puedes hablar un poco de el tiempo que compartiste con la comunidad y tal vez tus planes de continuar siendo parte de la comunidad inspirando a los jóvenes?
No, yo creo que mi experiencia fue increíble. Pude convivir con mucha gente de San Diego y muchos jóvenes de San Diego. Gracias a Dios, tantos niños que he visto, tantos niños que he visitado han tenido pues oportunidad de soñar, ¿no? Y ese es el objetivo, ¿no? Que sueñen y que traten de llegar a sus sueños, a sus objetivos. Y bueno, este año va a ser mucho mejor y ojalá que sea más, porque a mí me encanta convivir con toda la gente y tratar de estar con ellos y darles un poco de cariño que nos dan y ser un poco dar ese cariño. Yo creo que es para mí muy importante.
Yeah, I think with the many kids that I've seen and visited over the year, you know, I think overall just being able to share, you know, the opportunity for them to dream, and that's the objective, to inspire the youth and kind of get them closer to the goals. I think hopefully next year we can do a bit more, continue inspiring the youth and kind of return the love that I receive, and for me it's very important personally, and I would love to continue doing that. Julian, go ahead.
Chucky, congratulations on this first year. I'm curious, what made you a better player on this team in your perspective?
Felicitaciones por el gran año. Si me puedes compartir, en tu opinión, ¿qué te ha ayudado a ser un jugador mejor en este año?
No, yo creo que todo. Siempre en la vida aprendes cosas nuevas y bueno, y la vida tan solo te da experiencias nuevas y bueno, en este año tuve experiencias diferentes que me hicieron crecer mucho y la verdad que eso te ayuda más, ¿no? Y creo que pues en lo personal me siento mucho mejor físicamente y futbolísticamente.
Yeah, go ahead. You can ask a question.
No, I want to hear your
okay.
transcript. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I think everything here has given me growth. You know, life always gives you new lessons and you get new experiences that teach you a lot of things. with the different experiences that life gave us this year, I think there's a lot of growth, which helps me personally and on the field. So overall, I feel great, and I feel better in all forms. So we'll continue learning as always.
On that topic of growth and everything, do you feel like there's anything you wish you could have changed on this season for you personally?
Que tal vez quisieras que hubiese sido un poco diferente en este torneo.
No, nada. Yo creo que las cosas sucedieron de esa manera, por eso llegamos a esas instancias, y yo creo que la verdad que nada. Yo creo que todos hicieron un gran trabajo, todos hicimos un gran trabajo, y bueno, siempre hay que mejorar cosas, claro, pero bueno, ojalá que el siguiente torneo sea mejor que este.
Yeah, in reality, I don't think there's anything to change. The season gave way as it did, but we get those instances. Like I said, really nothing different at all. But I think we did a great job over a year. Of course, there's little things that can get adjusted, but hopefully we can work on those things for next season. Vamos con Emor y terminamos con José.
Hola Chucky, gracias por tu tiempo. Una disculpa que no pudimos llegar a tiempo por cuestiones técnicas. Te quería preguntar un par de cosas. NASA ya, obviamente, dices que todo ya va a quedar en el pasado, pero en la parte emocional, en la parte mental, ¿a ti cómo te hubiera gustado que hubiera sido el final de la temporada, motivacionalmente hablando, pensando que pudiste haber hecho más por el equipo, obviamente jugando más tiempo, etcétera? ¿De cómo te habría gustado cerrar la temporada? Y hablando del grupo de México, se habla mucho de Haaland o Salah, que podrían estar ahí. Me gustaría ver si tu pensamiento sobre estos dos jugadores podrías enfrentarlos en el Mundial, uno por lo que es Haaland y Salah por la cuestión de San Diego, ¿no? Por ser egipcio y el dueño de San Diego es egipcio.
No, la verdad que pues hay decisiones del entrenador que hay que respetar, y yo creo que eso es importante. Y bueno, lo que me tocó jugar, lo que me tocó participar, siempre lo traté de hacer al máximo, y bueno, así es, ¿no? Así es el fútbol, a veces ganas, a veces pierdes, pero siempre estuve en la mejor disposición para el equipo y para el club y para toda la gente. Y bueno, el grupo, gracias a Dios me ha tocado jugar contra ellos dos, y bueno, los dos son grandes jugadores. La verdad que tanto Salah como Haaland, yo creo que pues son dos tipos de jugadores top. Entonces, pues el que sea, yo creo que sería un gran partido.
José.
Muchas gracias, Chucky. Tengo dos preguntas para ti. La primera, me gustaría saber, desde afuera se puede interpretar que el tiempo libre, entre comillas, que hay entre el final de la temporada de la MLS y el inicio de la próxima le puede generar, digamos, una desventaja a los jugadores a la hora de competir por un cupo en la Copa del Mundo. ¿Qué aspectos positivos le ves tú a ese tiempo? ¿Cómo lo vas a aprovechar?
No, yo creo que lo voy a aprovechar mucho. Primero, descansar un poco, porque había tenido mucho tiempo sin un descanso, y bueno, después retomar el entrenamiento personal y llegar a la pretemporada de la mejor manera, iniciar la pretemporada bien y la temporada bien. Entonces, mi primer objetivo es descansar, recuperar la mente, todo, y después iniciar personalmente.
Forward, Anders Dreyer. Anders, if I could just start you off with, well, first and foremost, your recap of the season, what you qualify the team's performance this season, and then also you could tell us about your experience in your first year league in the league and launching SanDiego.
Yeah, first season is done now, or Saturday. It's been a crazy year personally, but also for the team, for the club, for the city and for the fans. I loved it, every single second of my time here. Out here as well, it's been yeah, nice, funny to be a part of, and of course it's a little bit tough the other day, but when you look back at the whole season now, it's been a very, very good season, and we can be very proud.
Could you take me through a little bit of this last week and then some of the difficulties that Vancouver made for you, especially on that side, to try to counterattack what you've been able to do so well this entire season?
No, like big credit to Vancouver. I also spoke with their coach, Danish Jesper, after the game and congratulate him. And they played a really good game and made it very difficult for us. So I wished him and his team all the best for the final. And yeah, then of course we wanted to be in the final, but at least there are some Danish guys in the final.
You mentioned Jesper Sorensen as well. He mentioned that like players like yourself, Jeppe, are doing very well for the Danish national team, and just highlighting that style of play. What does it mean to you to be such a representative of that national team and making it happen here in the United States, where historically it's not necessarily the place where national teams look for?
No, that's a big thing for me as well. To play for the national team is it's the biggest thing you can achieve as a footballer. To represent your country, that's different. And since I arrived in San Diego, I earned a spot on the national team. Went there 4 or 5 times this half year, back and forth. Long travel, but I loved it. Every single minute at the camp in Denmark. So yeah, it's nice, and I'm also happy for Jesper and of course the assistant Jan. I know him from my time in Anderlecht, and so it's nice, and yeah, now I'm looking forward to holiday, relax a little bit. I played throughout for 16-17 months in a row now without a break, so yeah, right now I'm looking forward to that.
Anders, how will you remember this team, and how do you hope people remember everything that you all were able to accomplish this year?
I hope people in the whole US remember San Diego for this season, of course, for playing exciting football. I think we inspired a lot of teams, but also fans, and especially here in San Diego with a soccer team and playing. It's been enjoyable, and I enjoyed it so much. So yeah, I think this season is something we can build on, and I think, of course, we feel inside here we have a lot more to come. So I'm just looking forward also to next season.
Honors, obviously, with an amazing season you had, some teams overseas in Europe maybe knocking on the door to get you to sign for them. Are you open to that so soon after arriving in San Diego, or are you confident of staying another season here?
I have 2 more years in San Diego. I signed 3 years, but I always learned also in football, you never say never. So we don't know what will happen, and I don't know what will happen, and of course it's a bigger decision. It's not only me, it's the club and what they want. So I think now I'm gonna enjoy a little bit of a rest, and then of course in a week or 2 I'm gonna start thinking about football again. So yeah, we'll see what will happen.
You mentioned 16 months of playing, and then also you've traveled more than most people on this team. How have you handled that this season, and what lessons are you going to take from this year into next season in MLS?
I learned a lot this year with travels. Sometimes you fly also 3-4 hours on a away trip here. Of course, it's more difficult when you go back to Europe again with 9 or 10 hours in different. But it helped me a lot. Of course, I had a wife at home who took a lot of on her shoulder, also with a little kid. And then of course out here always helping me to find the best solutions, and I think teammates, they made it easy for me to, when I came back from international, to just be a part of the team again and be ready to go for the next game in the weekend. So it's been tough, I will say that, but it's now we're also standing here and feel like it just went quick like this.
We have one last one on Zoom. Oh, you want?
Can I go?
Sorry, Dreyer, give
yeah.
us a second. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, sorry. Thanks, Under Charles from MLS Soccer. Going to the game last on Saturday night, it felt like you guys have connected with the community in such a profound way for being such a brand new project. How have you processed that and experienced it?
It's been amazing to be a part of this. I also think that's why I signed here, because that feeling of first year as a club in the history for San Diego, it's just it was something that I was really keen on, that I would love to try that. And now, yeah, standing here with experience like a Snapdragon Stadium, so electric. The last like 6, 7, 8 months, it's been amazing. And of course, especially here in the playoff games, it's been like not something you often see in Europe as well, with fans like that. So it's been, yeah, I can only right now think about that the season. When you reflect on it, it's been a good season. Of course, Saturday was tough, but when you get in today and reflect on the whole season in general, it's been amazing.
Some fans I talked to said that the supporter section was smaller at the start and grew and grew. Do you feel like you guys maybe won them over, especially with being so entertaining?
Yeah, I think so. And also walking around in the city, people start to recognize you, and people are so sweet, asking questions and all that kind of stuff. And I think, yeah, throughout the season it just became more and more, and especially with the fans, it's been amazing, with the clap before kickoff as well, and after games when we won. It's even also when we lost, they were also there. So yeah, it's been crazy.
Yep. Is there anything you'd like to tell the supporters, since they have been the 12th man on the road and at home?
No, just a big thank you. When you have fans who travel on away trips, it's not just a bus drive, it's a flight for 2, 3, sometimes 4 hours, and they are still there. That's incredible. So just a big thank you like to all the fans who support us throughout the whole season in ups and downs. That's truly something amazing, and something we as players we recognize like quickly, and saw that's not often that happens.
We'll go to Derek now. Go ahead, Derek.
Hey, Anders. Assuming you are here next year, and also on behalf of the fan base, please don't leave. Can you be a bit of a recruiter for other people, if other players, because every roster kind of changes year to year. It's just the inevitability of professional sports. Somebody asks you, hey, what's this MLS thing, this San Diego thing all about? What would be your recruiting pitch to get somebody to come in and join you here in San Diego?
No, I think that will be like, of course, I know people from national team also. They watch our games, and the way we play is it's so nice, and I think that's the way of football that a lot of people really like to play. So yeah, it's I think like for the whole MLS, watching what MLS is like building, I think that's incredible. And I think, like I said, throughout the whole season, I think just after the World Cup, it's gonna be even more tough to beat teams in MLS, because teams are getting better and better, and that's just nice as a player in this league to compete against good teams.
Thanks for your time on this.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll start off with questions here in person, I'll go with the first one. Yeah, but if you can recap the season for San Diego, and also what your experience has been like in your first season in MLS in San Diego.
Yeah, it feels like a long season. Feels like it's been several years actually, because so many new stuff, so many new things, both for me, but obviously also for the club. So yeah, thinking back in January feels so long ago right now. But yeah, what a ride we'd had. So many things you're gonna remember also probably after you're done playing, because of all the first, for the city and for us and for the club. So just thankful for a fun year in general. So yeah, sad about the ending, but happy for the year.
And then obviously you came into the year, and then you had one of the biggest challenges in being the captain and bringing out also that leadership, but the style of play. What can you tell me about the development of the style of play? Maybe different from Right to Dream. Maybe did SanDiego create their own version? What do you see this style becoming now here towards the end of the season?
Yeah, I think in terms of the style of play, you kind of have a base to go out for, and then you have players that you need to adapt for. And and we have a lot of very gifted players that you also need to recognize what they're good at and make them better than maybe they've been other places, but also just understanding Anas is a pocket player, Chucky is more maybe a wide player, so play into those preferences so we get the maximum out of everybody. So, and that takes time. That's one of the things that we knew from going in January, that was kind of the the biggest thing that we knew would take a lot of time, because the general principles of the style of play could be enforced pretty early, but to also kind of get everybody to be most comfortable and do the thing the best way is something that takes time. But we got there, and I felt like we had a lot of very good games on a very high quality. So it's been good.
What was it like for you and your growth as a player here when you're in MLS, and what's going to be different when you tackle next season, which won't be so much of a surprise?
Yeah, I think it's mostly for us internally, because there were so many things in the start of the season, and now you feel like going into January you have to start over, but you really don't, because we have so many things that's already in our blood, and everybody knows now what to kind of expect and what to do. So now it's just building even more on those extra things, like becoming extra good at the small stuff, or being extra good on the training pitch and develop skills even more. Then it's actually to do the structure kind of things for the team. So yeah, it's a new start again in January, but it's going to be so different from what we did just 11 months ago.
It's hard to repeat success in the way that you guys accomplished it this season. Why do you feel confident that this team can achieve that and more next year?
I think mostly because this season is not just because one or two person or three person has been good. It's not just one guy and how he plays alone that's affecting how this team is doing. When we are good, it's because the whole team is very aligned and very good. As you also see, we can build up with 6, 8, 9 people taking high risk at the start of our around our box, and then suddenly we make up guys being 2 against 2 or 3 against 2, and those guys are often maybe getting a bit more credit because they get the goals and the assists, but the hard work is started from the keeper and the back four going to the midfield, and then somebody finishes off. So yeah, I just feel like now the foundation for us is put quite solid, and just building on top of what we've done, because I think everybody, both around the club but also especially internally, players know the benefits of how we do stuff, how we build, and what benefit comes for us for the team and the strikers. So I feel like we're in a good place.
Yeah, but you mentioned that it was a long season. There was a lot of players that ended up getting injured. How did you manage to stay healthy this whole long season? There were games where maybe only 3-4 field players were available at some points. How did you manage that?
Me personally, I'm not probably in the biggest risk of injuries, because I'm usually not the one sprinting up and down the sides. So my body is, I'm a little bit more in the lower risk of getting injuries personally. But I think from a team perspective, we kind of trusted each other so much from the beginning, because that's what we needed to do. We are new guys that everybody wanted to be a part of this style of play and this club and doing it one way. So whoever got injured, it was just about, we have another guy who's learned the system, who's learned how we're going to do it. So first season is special, and we had trainings without being able to almost play properly. But we also know that it's periods of the season that you get through, and then you get to a point where it becomes better. And at the end of the season, we had a lot of guys again available, and then suddenly we had a full squad where everybody has played minutes. So it benefited us a lot in the end. And you saw guys as Ian coming in because he's played so many minutes, that playing a right back for him as a lefty, only playing mostly at center back, like he did that job so well. So that's just the benefits of getting as much people in playing minutes as possible, and even for next season, that's again a benefit for us to have more minutes overall in the team.
What's your expectation of the city next season? Obviously, they've shown you what it means for them in the stands, but not just as a supporter in the supporter sense, but the city of San Diego. Do you plan on staying here over the holidays, or what is that like, and what do you expect from them next year?
Yeah, I'm staying. Enjoying it here, and I think for us, we just hope and pray that everybody will do what they've done this year, because we know also, as we talked about, the first is special. So this season has been special, but as I also just said, I felt like we built something, and we're on the right path. And that goes the same for the supporters. I feel like we've been so blessed from day one, but obviously we also felt it going more and more here through the end of the season. So we hope and pray that as many people will keep following us as they have been. But we know we're so blessed. First of all, for all the guys who's been here the whole season. So we love to see them again for the next home pitch here at the home game here at Snapdragon.
Yep, I'm Charles Bone with MLSsoccer.com. I wonder how you've seen the culture of the club and the supporter culture sort of maybe take root and sort of blossom this year. I know you have a different perspective from the field, but I'm sure you've had an eye on this coming from Europe where things are different.
Me personally, I've been very surprised. I felt like it feels like a lot of these guys that also go to our game is kind of have had football or soccer in their blood before there was a team here. You kind of feel the energy and the culture before we played our first game. So it feels like people in the city has been waiting for a team, and now we came, and then you always don't really know how it goes for a season, but then progressed as we also did, and developed as we also did, and now we kind of feel like we are the place where going in for next season and the coming season, it's just gonna be so nice to go into those games knowing everybody's been behind us the way they've done, and the culture has been built both for us here, but especially also at the stands and us together. There's been a lot of also, it's his first season, so there's been a lot of us also talking with them and kind of planning what to do, what we kind of need, what they need from us and stuff, and that's also something you do maybe more in year one than you've done if you've been here 20 years. So I feel like that's been very productive as well, and hoping that will go into the next season and the coming season.
Is all this stuff kind of part of your adventure in the United States in MLS?
I feel like this year's been kind of a fairy tale because me personally also signed a little bit before we started and everything. So leading up to the season started, getting here, moving with the family, and then being a part of all this, creating all this, it's gonna be one of those years that's gonna be remembered for sure. That's for sure.
You talked a little bit about the conversations you had with the supporters, but what have the conversations been like with the front office, and what do you expect they do during this offseason to help San Diego FC get better?
Obviously we want as much competition as possible, also going into even more games next year. I think when you're a new team, you maybe the first part of the season you don't play it safe, but you have maybe your 11, 12, 13, 14 players that you play a little bit more. So they were a bit more load on us to begin with, and then the season opened up with a lot of injuries and a lot of guys came in, new minutes and stuff. So for next season, it's a lot of the better players we get, the more competition we get, the better we get out there, and then the better we get on the stadium. Because when we play midweek also a lot more next year, we need the same quality to be intact no matter how much we change. So we hope for a lot of good new players, but also players who understands how we're gonna do it. That's basically the most important thing.
We have one question on Zoom. Derek Togerson, go ahead.
Hey, Captain. You didn't have any expectations on this club this year because nobody really knew what you were, what to make of you. Next year, you're definitely going to have expectations. You're now a known commodity. How do you deal with that? The fact you'll have that proverbial target on your back, everyone knowing how good you guys are.
Yeah, that's the thing we need to be very aware of, because as we said, first years is always special, and nobody really knew us, and you could kind of come from behind and without any expectations. Now we have those, so it's also for us to build a culture around people knowing us a bit more. I feel though that during the season that developed quite quickly, that people understood how we played. Now we played some playoff games where it's also do or die basically. So we had those experiences. Of course we didn't win the last one, but you can't win them all. But I feel like we as a team has been through a lot of games and phases of this year where we are like, okay, we either struggle a little bit in the game or because we lost the game, but then we got on the other side. So I already feel like we're in a good position for that.
Thanks, Eric. Thank you for your time, Jeppe.
Puedes tomar medio paso para atrás.
¿Miro o
Sí,
te miro a ti?
bueno, acá, que te pregunte.
Ah, ok.
No hay problema. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we're joined by Anibal Godoy. Estamos aquí con Anibal Godoy. Aníbal, te preguntaré en español. Tú, si puedes responder en inglés también, perfecto. Si nos puedes dar tu resumen, cómo has visto la temporada que se ha hecho con SanDiego.FC y tú en lo personal, cómo te has sentido aquí y lo que has vivido ser parte de esta experiencia inaugurando SanDiego.
Yeah, I think in general we're doing really well for 12 months. It's a great season for the club. The first year expansion team. I think we're doing everything to try to be in the top on the West. You know, it's not normal in MLS to be an expansion team and to reach, you know, the more high standard for a long time. You know, and we're doing really well in that part. And I think we don't deserve to finish in the way we finished last Saturday. I think we can finish better. I know football, Vancouver is a great team also. They deserve to be in the final. But it's football. And now we have to rest and we have to come back more stronger for next year.
Igual en inglés y en español.
Ah, español ahora.
Sí, sí.
Ah, sí. Ah, bueno. Sí, creo que fue un año muy lindo, muy bueno en general para todo el grupo. Creo que mantener el nivel por 11 meses no es fácil como expansion team. Nadie se esperaba que SanDiego llegara hasta la final de conferencia. Creo que es un mérito de todo el staff, jugadores, cuerpo técnico, todos. Hemos hecho un gran trabajo y ahora tratar de descansar, pensar lo que hicimos bien, recuperar nuestro cuerpo y venir más fuerte para el próximo año.
Y si me podrías hablar un poco de pues cómo este equipo se unió inmediatamente como un equipo, como uno solo, en parte de los momentos de viaje, en las aerolíneas, en los aeropuertos, esos momentos, ¿qué fue la clave de este equipo para tener una química unida?
Bueno, creo que la familia, el cuerpo técnico, el staff, la idea de Right to Dream, la idea de SanDiego siempre ha sido crear una familia primero. Grandes seres humanos primero que jugadores, grandes personas, y creo que desde el principio de la pretemporada por ahí sabíamos que iba a ser complicado. Como digo yo, hubo muchas turbulencias en el camino en la pretemporada, pero el grupo nunca dejó de creer en la idea, en la forma de juego de este proyecto. Y empezamos con pie derecho. Creo que cuando ganamos ese partido en Los Ángeles al campeón, por ahí se hacía todo más fácil, empezar con el pie derecho y lo que el grupo hizo como familia, estar siempre juntos en los buenos y malos momentos, creo que nos llevó hasta pelear por un campeonato y hacer a SanDiego que soñara con un campeonato para la ciudad.
Pues en inglés, por favor.
En inglés.
También.
Okay. Bueno, sorry. I think we are create like a really good group, good family from the beginning until now. You know, the project of this thing, of the Right to Dream, the first thing is to create really good person, first one, and after be a great human, and after be a great player, you know. And from the beginning, we know it's not easy, you know, to be part of the organization and to be part of this thing. They build really good group, and from the first game against Galaxy, when we win that game, everything can be more easy from then until of the middle of the season, and more when you have like good group and fighting for your teammate, and everything can be more easy. And this is why San Diego create really good foundation from now until for sure 25 or 50 years.
You've been on other MLS teams before. What do you think this team needs to do to continue their success for the future?
I think this group is different. This thing is different. It's a special team. If you see they build foundation from the U12, you don't see that enough in this league, and they have really good academy right now. They start to build from young guys, and this is the success of the San Diego this year. I always say the first year of the expansion team is not easy. I come from Nashville, and it's really tough, to be like top team, to compete against great team, to compete against team have 25, 30 years of history in the league. It's not easy to compete, and this is why we create here like a fighting spirit team to try to every single game go out and compete for everything.
And you, along with Honors, have traveled some of the most this season. How have you handled that this year, and how do you hope to rest this offseason?
It's part of our career. We are professional football player, and we have to take it. We love football. I love to play in my national team. He loves to play in the national team, and we are blessed. Blessed for that opportunity. And every single time we go national team, we are happy. And every single time we finish for national team, we come back here and we are happy also. I think this is the part of the sport, and we have to. The more important, we have to try to be healthy. This is the more difficult, and if you are healthy, you can compete in every single time.
And with the World Cup here in the U.S. next year, how important, how big is that going to be for you, and how much is your time with San Diego going to help that?
Yeah, it's really important. Like great opportunity for me and for the country to represent, Panama in this World Cup. I think the first thing and the more important is to work in off season and to be ready to come here and fighting again. And the first thing is to come here, San Diego. If we see, I don't know what happened. If I am here next year, and we have conversation, but still, like if I come back next year, try to be ready to compete first one here in the club, and after be ready for national team.
Anibal, is your contract a club option, or how does that?
Yeah, club option. We're talking about that one. I'm not sure if I come back, but I want to come back. I feel happy in San Diego. My family is happy. I don't want to move more. In that time of my career, 35-year-old, I don't want to move. Anymore. I wanna finish here. I feel happy with this organization, and we see what happens.
Si se queda otro año usted aquí en San Diego, ¿sería su último año como futbolista?
Bueno, ya estoy pensando en la transición de futbolista a me gustaría ser entrenador también o ser parte del fútbol. Entonces quiero jugar un año más al más alto nivel, competir para el Mundial, competir para San Diego, CONCACAF Champions League tenemos el próximo año. Creo que un año muy bonito y estar listo y para ver qué pasa después en un futuro.
Y el estilo de juego aquí en San Diego, el Right to Dream, no es un estilo complicado. ¿Qué son las diferencias de cuando juegas con la selección a cuando estás jugando con San Diego? ¿Y crees que es un estilo que atraiga a otros jugadores?
Sí, creo que es un estilo que si ves todos los jugadores de la liga les gustaría estar aquí, en este club. Un equipo que juega al fútbol, que juega al pie, el balón siempre sin miedo. Puedes tener un jugador de 17 y 36 años y te va a jugar a la misma manera, el mismo fútbol, la misma idea, y creo que eso es importante, y creo que eso viene desde la cabeza, de dar la confianza al equipo, al jugador, y por ahí se hacen las cosas más fáciles.
Y fue un año enorme por usted personalmente, ¿no? ¿Encontraste la fuente del juventud en San Diego?
Sí, lo he dicho, y creo que a mis 35 años no pensaba encontrarme en un equipo tan bueno que me rejuveneciera mi carrera. Creo que fue uno de los mejores años que he tenido en los últimos de la MLS. He jugado mucho más minutos, me he sentido bien, he estado feliz, que en el fútbol si estás feliz haces las cosas más fáciles, y si en el fútbol no estás feliz, ¿sabes? No puedes competir. Creo que aquí he estado feliz desde el día 1, no solo dentro de la cancha, también afuera, y creo que eso es lo que me tiene contento de poder, ojalá Dios quiera, pueda venir y regresar a San Diego para el próximo año.
Y un equipo, digamos, nuevo como San Diego de expansión, ¿cómo has sentido el tema de la afición, encontrar una afición tan apasionada y que te haya apoyado?
Le digo que estoy agradecido con ellos, creo que he quedado sorprendido con lo que hizo la afición, con lo que ha hecho durante todo el año, nunca debo de alentar y le digo que una de las mejores aficiones que he visto en la MLS, se lo aseguro, no porque juego para San Diego, porque he estado en mucha cancha y creo que la presión que mete esta afición, el apoyo, creo que no es fácil jugar aquí para el equipo rival, para el equipo visitante, y ojalá Dios quiera el próximo año tengamos mucha más gente, mucha más afición y mucha más ganas de poder decir que San Diego es un estado de fútbol.
Con eso, ¿puedes decir cuál mensaje te gustaría decirles a la afición por estar presentes?
Bueno, le quiero dar un mensaje a la afición de que muchas gracias por todo el año dado hacia nosotros. Creo que estamos agradecidos con ustedes, con todo lo que nos dieron. Nosotros como jugador siempre necesitamos ese apoyo de ustedes. No es igual jugar sin un estadio vacío que con el apoyo de ustedes, y creo que estoy agradecido y le mando una feliz Navidad y un próspero año nuevo. Saludos.
Vamos con preguntas en Zoom. Ema Boateng, adelante.
Hola Vicky, gracias. Aníbal, buenos días, gracias por tu tiempo. Me gustaría preguntarte si pudieras comentar en español la parte del contrato, si te gustaría regresar, si ya has estado en pláticas con el club sobre eso. Escuché que lo dijiste en inglés.
Bueno, sí, estoy en plática con el club, ¿sabe? Ahora todo está muy, como se dice, muy joven, muy rápido. O sea, tenemos solamente 2 días de haber terminado el campeonato. Ahí hablaré con mi agente y con el club a ver si volvemos el próximo año. Yo contento de volver aquí. Le digo, como lo dije, estoy muy feliz, mi familia está feliz y un equipo que me ha dado mucho y que me ha vuelto mi carrera más joven. Creo que he vuelto 10 años atrás y me he sentido muy contento. Ojalá se dé todo y ya no queda en mí, creo que queda en el staff de poder ellos tomar la decisión y ver qué es lo que pasa a futuro.
Y una más en cuanto al tema de la selección, segunda vez que Panamá va a ir al Mundial y podrías estar ahí, pues solamente depende del físico prácticamente. ¿Cómo ves lo que serán los próximos 6 meses para ir al Mundial?
Bueno, serán unos meses muy cargados de fútbol. Como lo dije aquí en una nota, creo que lo mejor ahora es descansar y poder pensar muy bien y trabajar en pretemporada. Creo que ese trabajo de pretemporada es lo que me va a dar el combustible para venir los primeros 6 meses y competir en CONCACAF, CONCACAF Champions League, en amistoso que tenga la selección, y por ahí si me toca ir al Mundial, estar listo también.
José Rodríguez, Deporte Total.
Muchas gracias, felicitaciones Aníbal por la temporada. Quería preguntarte un poco sobre tu expectativa del sorteo, cómo lo vas a vivir, bueno, ahora que ya vas a estar libre, vas a estar en familia, cuál es el plan que tienes y si hay alguna selección que te gustaría enfrentar, ahora que hay varias opciones.
Bueno, creo que lo quería vivir en casa, el sorteo, pero desafortunadamente no voy a estar fuera de casa y me tocará verlo donde esté. Pero en realidad ojalá nos toque un grupo que podamos competir bien. Le digo que todos los equipos son difíciles en el Mundial. No podemos nosotros como Panamá escoger rival. Tenemos que agarrar el que nos toque y competir y ir a hacer buen trabajo al Mundial. Así que espero con ansia ese 5 de diciembre a ver qué grupo nos toca para el Mundial.
Gracias por tu tiempo, Aníbal.
Gracias, muchas gracias.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're joined by forward Marcus Ingvartsen. Marcus, just to start you off with the first question, if you just tell us, what your thoughts are on how would you qualify the season, and your experience in this first season in MLS.
Yeah, I think as a team the season has been pretty amazing. The way we from day one came as a completely new group, nobody knowing each other, and coming together, creating the culture, the DNA in the club, and so on has been really strong, and we've been able to take it almost all the way, it's overall expectations, and I think we as a team has been growing and still have a lot of layers to put on, and I'm excited for the next season.
When you came over, Jeppe and yourself were tasked with bringing over the play style, Right to Dream, and that DNA. How do you think that's developed into San Diego FC's new style, maybe setting itself a little bit apart from the Right to Dream style and its own uniqueness?
Yeah, again, it's like coming in as a completely new group. It's a lot of different ways of being around different clubs, different playing styles and cultures and so on. And I think it's been amazing how fast we could get everyone in the same boat, coming together as a family and everybody buying into the way of doing it. And then having our own style in terms of being a little bit more direct, also adapting to the league and so on. So having some foundation thoughts of how we wanted to play, but using the players and the league to make our own style, and it's been amazing to see how deep it's become a part of us now.
And then you mentioned adapting to the league. What are some things that surprised you about MLS and playing here in the United States that maybe you're now prepared to go into for next year?
Yeah, the league is a little bit more open and back and forth than the Danish league. I would compare it a lot to the Bundesliga where I played. So a little bit more open. As an offensive player, it's a really nice league to play in. And then of course some teams are also adapting to our player style of play, having the ball and controlling the games, and we have been playing against a couple of teams where we had to open them up a little bit more. But in general, having that directness in the right moments has been very important.
Marcus, obviously on a personal level, maybe not the season you expected with your injury lasting as long as it did. How are you feeling now, and then what are your personal expectations coming into this new season?
Yeah, on a personal level, it hasn't been the season that I was dreaming of. A tough one, hitting some injuries, not really coming back and then regaining an injury. So it's been very tough. I hope it's one of the seasons you have in your career where things are not really clicking. Looking forward to recover well, doing the preseason and get in great shape with the team. So my expectations for the next season is I'm going into the season a little bit like a new feeling and bringing that energy. So I'm very excited to get started again.
A lot of time this season, the fans were asking for a number 9. That was a missing piece. Obviously, you weren't part of that with the injury. Do you feel like you're that player next season for San Diego to be the number 9, to be the goal scorer?
Yeah, for sure. I trust in myself, and I've been feeling really good when I've been in the squad and been in shape. So I need to build up that shape and get a good preseason. But then definitely I feel like I'm ready to come into this team and be the one scoring the goals.
Any questions on Zoom? Please use the raise hand feature. Going once.
I have one or two. I'm Charles Miller with MLSsoccer.com. I'm from out of town, and I just wonder how you've seen the process, both on and off the pitch, of building the culture and connecting with supporters, compared to what you experienced previously in your career in Europe.
Yeah, it's completely different environment because you start from scratch. Most other teams has a history and a way of doing things and so on. We had to build that from the beginning, knowing the right to dream, style and culture and so on. Like, some things were set, but we also had to adapt as a group and with a new coaching staff and everything. So it's been really amazing to be a part of building that culture, and also one of the reasons why it's the project from the beginning was very interesting. I really enjoy the way of doing things, and being able to come in and be a leader and putting that into the group has been very exciting. Building that is very unique, and I think the way we've done it so good for just one season is something that we have to be quite proud of.
You were in the first group that Mikey and Tyler met like about a year ago, I think, right after Mikey got hired.
Yeah.
Remember? And Mikey described how strange it was to make the pitch to you guys for something that didn't exist.
Yeah, exactly. We signed off some talks and pictures of facilities and basically dreams. I think we have come a long way and definitely put a lot of those dreams into work now. So it's been amazing to sign this early, seeing the squad being put together, and now being this close to an MLS final. So great and very impressive development.
What would you say was your most memorable moment, whether it was on the pitch or off the pitch?
For me personally, I would say that first game away LA Galaxy. It was special. So many traveling fans from the beginning, going to LA, get the win, get the season started, the hype after the game, at the stadium with the fans in the city afterwards. That's definitely one of my personal best memories for this season.
Thanks for your time, Archie.
Thank you.
That was great. All right, take it away, guys.
Onni, could you just go ahead and talk us through this season, an inaugural season for a club, first year? What was the experience like for you in MLS with this club as well?
Yeah, I've been in a lot of projects in my career, like in new teams and everything. So it's always something new to do, but it wasn't so new to me because I've experienced it before in my previous clubs. And when you need to build something, sometimes it takes time. But the way everybody came in with such an open mind, the system we have behind the whole club and the whole city definitely helped us a lot. We had really high expectations for ourselves coming into this season. I think we had a good season. Obviously now the last result we had against Vancouver still hurts, and it's gonna probably hurt for a while, but we know in football you get a new chance, and that's what we're gonna get ready for and prepare for a good next year.
And then how would you say you grew as a player this last year, being back in the Finnish national team as well? How have you been able to grow with the team and independently as well?
I think it's a really easy team to be a part of. The group we have outside of the pitch is really good also. Everybody's good friends together. I think that obviously shows on the pitch also that we trust each other. Everybody's fighting for each other. Everybody's happy for each other's success, and I think that's been a really good thing for us this year, that we're playing for each other, fighting for each other, and that helped us a lot to have a good year.
Onni, you're amongst the players that the club has an option to keep for next season. Have those conversations taken place already? Do you want to stay another season here?
Yeah, actually, I just had a conversation with them, and I am expected to stay. I'm really happy to get to stay here. I've enjoyed this year. I'm looking forward for the next years. I think we still have a lot higher ceiling than what we showed this year, and I'm really happy to be a part of it in the future also. So I'm happy on my side to get to continue here, and I think the club is also happy with me to stay here, and I think we have good goals ahead of us, and we're looking forward for that.
And obviously, staying another season, do you think your role will be the same, kind of like that attacking midfielder, or having to play on the wing, having to play as a false nine sometimes?
One of the reasons why I probably played so much also this year was that I could play in a lot of positions. I think that helped me a lot. Me personally, I like to play in all the midfield roles. I think those are my best positions. Obviously, I want to get better and improve every year that I'm here, and I think this is the perfect environment for me to grow as a player and as a human also.
Mikey talked about your consistency last week and how important that has been to the team. What do you do to work on that consistency, and how do you hope to keep that going into 2026?
Yeah, in football, I think the most important thing is consistency in the work you do every day, how you show up every day. Because in a season, there's ups and downs, and when you can keep a consistent mindset, a consistent level on the pitch, I think at the end of the year that adds up, and that's the best teams are usually the ones that are the most consistent, because a lot happens during a game also, and you don't get dragged out during a game. If something bad happens or if something good happens, you can keep that consistent level, and I think I want to be even more consistent with my own performances also, and that's just something I want to keep on working, and it starts with all the training sessions we have and showing up with a very open mindset, and yeah.
Could you reflect a little bit on the journey that you guys went on as a first-year club, and also building a culture of fandom around you and connecting with the community?
No, I think it's like you said, it's a good time to reflect on the past year. I think during the year we really didn't have time to do that. We were just so focused for every day we came. We enjoyed every day. To be honest, it didn't feel like a first year because 11 months ago we came, everybody seeing each other for the first time, a whole new club, a whole new setup. I think it's really amazing how quickly we adapted to everything and got used to everybody, and obviously it helps with all the staff and the whole city that we have behind us, so it made it so much easier.
I don't know if you get asked about your dad a whole lot, but now after your first year of MLS, what was it for you as being a second generation player, and how did your father share in this with you in any way?
Yeah, he was obviously happy. He knew how hard the league is. He never made it past, I think, the first or second round in the playoffs when he was playing here. So we also have a good competition between us that I want to be better than him also. And I think now we can go even further as a team, and that's what we want to do. But obviously he was really proud and happy of the season we had as a team, and he knows how much effort it takes every day. So he's been happy for me. Yeah.
And it was a long season. What would you say was the most memorable moment for you, whether it was on or off the pitch?
Oof. I think obviously the first home win, the first win we had against LA Galaxy. That was our first game. We stepped our foot into the league. Then obviously I think at the end, first round of playoffs, that we got past that because I think we had a lot of pressure coming into that game, like saying that we've had a good season, but now it starts the playoffs and how you can play in the playoffs, and I think we had a really good games there. Just in general off the pitch, we've had good moments also. The team dinners we've had and everything, it's been really good times, and hopefully next season we can continue that.
Any other questions? Thanks for your time, Onni.
Thank you very much, guys. Thank you.
Okay, folks, we're joined by goalkeeper CJ Dos Santos. CJ, I'll start you off with the first question. If you could just summarize what this season has been like, being part of San Diego FC in its first season, the season the club has had, and then you on a personal level being part of that.
No, it's been an absolute pleasure and an absolute honor to share this first season with this great city, with this great club. You know, coming in from the first day, I knew that there was something special about this team, something special about the individuals and the group itself, and it's been an absolute honor to share all these spectacular moments with the fans and with the city of San Diego.
How tough was it for you to go out with the injury that you did and have to watch the rest of the playoffs from the sidelines there?
No, obviously, as a player and as a competitor, it's always tough to go through that, especially with the timing. You know, I want to play in the important games of the season, obviously, but then I just had to shift it. I have to shift my mentality to support the team and to give everything that I have from a different perspective to the rest of my teammates.
What was yours and Pablo's conversations like after he kind of took over those starting role reins to get to the point that you guys did?
Oh, he's been nothing but supportive of me, and he's helped me out so much this season. And I wanted to give that same sort of mentality back to him. Words of encouragement, words of positivity for him, and just giving him sort of advice that I see from a different perspective, from the training grounds and from a more aerial view from inside the stadium as well.
And what has been your experience in coming into this year and becoming a starter, where previously you were battling for that position, but you cemented yourself as a starter in your time here in San Diego?
No, I always wanted to have this opportunity to be a starter, and I'm so appreciative of the club and the front office for giving me this opportunity. And I kind of just took that, and I wanted to make the best out of this opportunity.
And then what are your aspects that you've been able to grow this year and this last season in terms of your gameplay? You showcased your bravery a couple of times, obviously, but what is in the goalkeeping sense? What have you grown in this position?
My mentality has evolved immensely throughout this season. Going from the situation where I was at, it was a completely different mentality. And now I had to get my routine, I had to sharpen up my tools in terms of my routine, preparing the best that I possibly can from Monday through Friday, preparing on a game day, how the mindset shifts from that. Physically, just trying to get my routine as best as possible to maintain and to evolve as well.
Can you take us through just the injury and what the rehab's going to look like?
So with the rehab, it was pretty much just letting my vision get back to where it was before, letting the bones settle in as well for the past couple of weeks, and I've been able to do some bike in the gym, some strength work in the gym, lower body, upper body. So that I'm really happy about the progression that I've made with that. Hopefully within the next couple of days, I'll be able to go into the field, see how I can react, running, and because I haven't ran yet. But yeah, I'm just trying to get as close to match fit as possible going into preseason.
And is there like a target for when you'd be able to be back on the field? If the season didn't end, would you have been able to play in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or is it longer than that?
No, we haven't really discussed that at this point. From where the injury happened, I just wanted to get healthy again, because it was such a complicated thing with a head injury, and then with the bone as well, with the vision. So it's a lot of different things that made it complicated. So the initial conversation was just to get healthy and just to get fit where I feel comfortable enough just to do everyday things, in the gym, and then try to progress from there.
And you said vision. What do you mean? What kind of vision?
So the way that it happened was that it's an orbital floor fracture here. So just trying to get the eyesight back to where it was. The initial injury, I was having double vision. So from there, the vision is a lot better now. I can only see one of you, thankfully. But I haven't really tested it out yet in a game sense and in a training sense. So I'm just trying to get comfortable with that now.
And last thing, when you have an injury like that, you've had a couple head type injuries. How do you sort of regain confidence to be aggressive again, or is that just the nature of your position?
I mean, when you get injured, whether it's a muscle injury, you kind of have to gain that confidence. So you kind of just have to chip at that away slowly, little by little, and just with the repetitions, just to try to get comfortable in the natural state of where I once was before.
Right. There's no surgery?
Yes, I did have to
get
get
surgery.
Yeah, there was surgery. Yeah.
And it was a long season. What would you say was the most memorable moment for you, whether it was on or off the pitch?
I would say the first game, the first two games, the first game in our history is 100% one of the most memorable moments that I've had in my career. Just to share that and start off the season with a win was unbelievable in and of itself. And then the second game, our first home game, and just having that feel with the fans, and having to feel their passion and feel and hear what San Diego fans are all about. So those two games were probably my two favorite and most memorable moments.
How did you feel to have the support from the supporters? Brand new team, welcoming to the city of San Diego, especially this last match. They showed an outstanding ovation for you guys.
No, it's been unbelievable all season long. And they've been nothing but absolutely positive each and every day. Even if we take a step back in a result, they're always there. They're always the loudest in the entire country, in my opinion. So they show out, and they show out very, very well with so much passion, so much love and support for this club. So it's been unbelievable from them all season.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're joined by goalkeeper Pablo Sisniega. We'll start off in English first, and then we'll go to Spanish. Pablo, to start you off with the first question, if you could just recap what the season has been like for San Diego, and for you on a personal level, what it's meant for you to be part of this historic season, inaugural season for the club, and just being part of it.
Yeah, I think if we reflect on the season, it was an incredible season, club, and a group of players that didn't know each other 11 months ago, and we finished first in the West. We got to conference final. Obviously, we didn't win the conference final, which is what our ultimate goal was, to be able to play this Sunday in MLS Cup. But I think overall, if we look at the season, it was a huge success.
If you can give me a little bit of a recap of this last match and just the difficulties that Vancouver presented with that high press, and eventually at the end of the match, obviously the action that I saw you sent off, just take me through that moment as well.
Yeah, I mean, Vancouver are a very good team. They're very well coached. They have a play style that matches up well against us, and obviously it was a very intense game. They took advantage of the opportunities. Obviously we had chances, and we just couldn't finish a couple of them, and they were very lethal in front of goal. And yeah, that last action when we were down 3-1, when we're down, sometimes they ask me to push up to play kind of the third center back, and yeah, I was put in a little bit of an uncomfortable position with the pass. It's not to blame anybody. Like it's things that happen in soccer, but I try to make a play, and obviously God got there to the ball before me, and I just had to take him out so we're still in the game. So yeah, and it was unfortunate. Obviously, I didn't want to get sent off, but it is what it is. You know, it's part of the game.
How would you attribute your growth in this club in this first year, and what it's meant for you in your personal career?
Yeah, obviously it's been a year of tremendous growth personally as well. Last year I was playing in USL. Obviously I did that to challenge myself. And then when San Diego came calling and gave me the opportunity to come here, it was something that I wanted to grab with both hands. And I think that when I got the chance to play, I think I played at a high level for the most part. So I'm very, very happy to be here. I love this club and I love this city. So I'm very happy that they gave me an opportunity that took a chance on me.
A lot of the followers are familiar with USL, with San Diego loyal here. Could you just mention some of that difference in play style, just the level between USL Championship and MLS?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's a difference in level, but to me personally, going down to USL was the best decision I made for my career in terms of kind of restarting it. Like I'd been in MLS for 5 years prior to going down to USL, and I had gotten some chances, but it was like you come in, you come out of the team. And then last year I went down to San Antonio and I played consistently, and it really helped me grow mentally and in terms of just performing day in and day out. So I think that getting that experience in USL helped me be a much better goalkeeper and be much better prepared for when I came back to MLS with San Diego.
The club has an option for 26 and 27. Have you had those conversations with them about possibly staying next season?
Yeah, I mean, we're in talks, but hopefully my intention is to stay because I'm very happy here in San Diego.
Do you have a sense of, I mean, obviously in every offseason there's going to be people who come and go. How much of the core of this team will stay together, or do you think there'll be a little bit of a turnover?
I'm honestly, I don't know enough. Hopefully a lot of the core stays because I think we had a successful season, so hopefully a lot of the core stays.
What did you think about the pitch conditions this past weekend? Obviously, it was a new pitch, and the week prior, it definitely wasn't ideal.
Yeah, I think this week was better than the week before. It still wasn't the best that it's been all season, but it was definitely a lot better than in the Minnesota game. So I know that the grounds people do their best with the situation that they had. So yeah, it was way better than against Minnesota.
As a goalkeeper, when you have pitches that are different conditions, how does it stress your position? Is it harder with you because of the bounces? Or?
Yeah, the bounces can be a little bit more challenging, but obviously, like I've played in much worse pitches than the ones here in Snapdragon, so I'm not going to be here complaining about the pitch. I think that the pitch is very good conditions for 99% of the season, so I'm not going to complain about it.
What's the worst pitch you've ever played on?
When I was young in Mexico, I played on some dirt pitches. So yeah, this is not that bad.
Pablo, before the Minnesota match, I asked you, and how do you help Duran Ferree in the possibilities of him having to come on due to an injury or red card? Fortunately, it happened this last game. How do you feel like he handled those last 15 minutes?
Yeah, I think he did well. Like I think we had talked about on that day. He's a good goalkeeper, and he was prepared for the moment. I think he performed admirably. It's not an easy situation to get your debut at 19 in the Western Conference Final. So I think he came on and did a good job. So I think everybody in the team is very proud of him.
Could you speak on this? One more for me. You've been around MLS. You've seen what expansion teams are like and the projects. What was it like to live this? And how do you think San Diego maybe embraced the team and you guys built a culture around the club?
Yeah, I think this is the experience of a lifetime, being here in San Diego and living this with a team. I mean, just the way that the organization was set up from day one, having this incredible facility, having the people around us to really make it work, and having, I think, the best fans in the league made such a big difference. So I think that being here has been incredible. I'm super happy to be here, and I think that the way that the city embraced the club was truly special. So, like I said, everybody in the club is very fortunate to have the fans around us to support us and to kind of push us on.
Pablo, ¿nos puedes dar un panorama general, lo que fue la primera temporada, lo que esperabas contra la realidad?
Sí, creo que como dije, la temporada fue muy buena en términos generales. Creo que superamos las expectativas de la mayoría de la gente, ¿no? Yo creo que mucha gente no nos daba chance de nada, y al final acabamos primeros en nuestra conferencia, llegamos a la final de la conferencia en los playoffs. Entonces creo que el cómputo global de la temporada fue muy bueno.
Técnicamente, tácticamente, ¿qué te pareció el equipo, la labor del entrenador, el sistema de juego, el esquema?
Joined by goalkeeper Duran Ferree. Duran, if you could just tell us, it's been kind of a unique situation. First player in club history to get a contract here in San Diego. You make your debut this past weekend. And then just overall, your experience there, but then also just forming part of this project that when it first started, it was a name, no actual roster, and then, you see it in full fruition.
Yeah, first of all, it's a pleasure being with my hometown club. I think it's a very special thing to be able to have this opportunity. And it was definitely a strange feeling signing for a team that wasn't existing, but it was definitely worth the signing, and I think there's much more to come with this team. So I'm very, very appreciative of this opportunity.
Can you take us through the other night? I mean, that must have just been surreal. You're sitting on the bench, you just figure, okay, I'm watching, and then all of a sudden, you're going in.
Yeah, it was definitely a quick turnaround. I wasn't really expecting it to be a red card, so when I saw the red, just got ready real quick. It was definitely a strange feeling at the end of the day, a little bittersweet, because obviously it's very big to make the MLS debut, but of course it's a very unfortunate ending. So,
were you sitting there when you saw the red card going, oh my gosh, I'm going to make my MLS debut?
Yeah, it was so quick. I was ready for it. I've been waiting patiently, and I was happy to get the opportunity, and just was able to execute the role.
Being a player, the first signing for San Diego FC, you've been part of this club since its inception, and even before part of the fabric of San Diego soccer, San Diego Loyal coming in. What has all of that prepared you in those 10 minutes, and how is this going to also prepare you moving forward in the career that you're going to have?
Yeah, starting at such a young age, I think throughout this whole journey with the Loyal and SDFC, it's just prepared me so much for this opportunity, building up through Loyal, having the game time with men at such a young age of 15, 16, 17, and now here at SDFC, it was a big preparation, so I'm very grateful to be in this position.
And then as you're preparing, you've also had minutes and time with FC Northland. Talk to me about that process and learning the way that a goalkeeper is supposed to be in this play style, and have you been able to adapt into that?
Yeah, it was a key role for me to go out there. They really built the style within my style of play, and I'm very grateful for the opportunity. And coming here was just it was very easy because it's the same exact style of play, and that worked out very well. So.
Do you know what your plans will be for next year? Do you expect to be here, or do you think you might go out on loan again?
Yeah, I expect to fight for the role. I think I'll be here for sure, and of course, there's always a possibility of a loan, but we'll see how things go.
What were the nerves like on Saturday, just in that moment, and how did you stay in the moment and not think, like, what if we tie, what if it goes overtime, what if it goes penalty kicks, like all that could have happened?
Yeah, for me, I think actually just watching the game in the first half, I was very nervous, and then when I saw that red card, actually all the nerves kind of to calm down a little bit, and once I got on the field, I just knew I was ready to go. So.
Have you thought about the fact that, obviously it's still a couple months out for the next season to start, but if CJ's still not fully healed back from his injury, you'd probably be the next up in line, considering that Pablo has to play out his suspension that first game, so you'd be the start of that game, right?
Yeah, we'll see how things go, but I'll always be ready for the opportunity when it comes my way, so we'll see how things go, and I'll be ready for that time.
What have you learned from the fellow goalkeepers on the team? They've had some really strong seasons. How has that made you better as a player?
Yeah, working with the older goalkeepers, it's just given me a lot of leadership role. I think they've taught me a lot of just the technical stuff and being a leader on the field. So, yeah.
Thank you, Duran.
Thank you.
Everybody set? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're joined by defender Paddy McNair. Paddy, I'll start you off with the first question. If you could just tell us how you qualify the season for San Diego, and personally, how you feel being part of this club and having the opportunity to inaugurate a club.
Yeah, I think it's been a good season. Obviously, I ended a little bit disappointing. I think when you get so close to the final, obviously you want to, get there and possibly win it. So, but I think when you look back to January and obviously a new franchise, you sort of obviously you hope it's going to go well, but I think we sort of exceeded everyone's expectations, and I think overall it's been a successful season.
And then can you talk to us about being able to come into this style of play, the very specific way of playing, what it's been like to be for it to be adapting to your style, and then yourself being able to adapt to the style inversely?
Yeah, for me personally, coming the two clubs I played for before had a very similar style, so it wasn't sort of a big change of how to play. I think it was more adapting to, obviously the weather's one, it's very hot here, and a new league as well, which teams do play different to what they have faced in England before. So that was probably the biggest thing. But yeah, I think overall everyone who came in, played their part, and yeah, it's been good to be part of.
And from a defensive front, what is it like have to defend MLS teams, this team, and what have you learned about the nuances in each individual team, or is there something that is very similar throughout all the teams that you've been able to face this season?
Yeah, I think with us, we're a team who keep the ball, so a lot of teams try and play counter-attack against us, so it's just sort of managing that, and I think throughout the season we sort of got better at that, and so the results showed that, obviously more clean sheets and stuff. So yeah, I think I'll say at the start it had its challenges, like that was probably what was expected as we're a new team. So, but I think overall I think we're probably one of the best teams in the MLS, and to say that after one season, it's pretty good, and yeah, credit to everyone.
Obviously, during the season, Mikey Varas talks about the internal competition, everyone fighting for minutes. It seemed like after an injury that you had, Manu Dua took advantage of the opportunity and kind of became the starter in that center back pairing with McVeigh. Can you talk to us a little bit about that shift from being a normal starter with San Diego at the beginning of the season, then kind of transitioning to more of a rotational piece, or even kind of like a leader on the back line, not necessarily with the minutes, but still at practice and mentoring Manu Dua?
Yeah, that's obviously I played a lot at the start, but I think that's football. It's when you get injured or miss a game, it gives an opportunity to someone else, and Manu, he played very very well when he came in, and I think he finished the season very strong. So I think it's a healthy thing in a squad to have competition. I think it makes everyone better, and yeah, it helps everyone on the team.
And on the national team aspect, your home country has a tough road ahead with the playoffs against Italy. How are you preparing to tackle that as well?
Yeah, obviously I'll think about the off season now, and then once we get into pre-season again, closer to March, I'll start thinking about that. But it's an exciting time ahead. Obviously the World Cup being here, Mexico and Canada. So yeah, if we could, it would be an unbelievable experience to qualify. But yeah, I'll think about that a bit closer to the time.
What have you thought about the travel here in the MLS? They say in America sometimes you have to fly on some long plane rides. What have you thought of that this year?
Personally, I think people make a bigger deal of it than what it actually what it is. I think we drive to the front of the plane, and majority of the times it's a 2-hour flight, just over 2 hours. In England, sometimes you're on a coach for 4 or 5 hours. So for me, there's no real difference. For me personally, I didn't find it a factor against us, especially when our away record has been so good as well. So I think that's helped. But I do think the travelling is. I don't think it's as bad as people make out.
And when you have such a successful season in your first year, what are the important things that this team needs to do to keep that momentum going for next year?
Just think we need to keep doing the things that we've done this year. Don't change, and there's obviously things we can improve. So I think if you're open-minded and believe you can improve and stuff, I think that'll help the team.
Any other questions? Thanks for your time, Paddy.
All good. Thank you.
All set? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're joined by Ema Boateng. Ema, if I could just start you off with the first question. If you can first and foremost recap the season for SanDiego.FC from your point of view, and secondly, what it's been for you to be able to be part of launching a new club and the historic season the club has had.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's been great so far. I think, we're a little bit disappointed we didn't make the final and have a chance to bring a trophy in, but for a first-year team, and, I think Mikey said it is in his interview, we're introducing ourselves 11 months ago, and then, to be in a spot playing for a chance to go into the final, it's been a really successful year. It's been really fun. Just to have the atmosphere that we had at games with the fans supporting us every game in. So it's just been an incredible experience. I didn't think it would be as good as it was. And, Anibal was the only one that had gone through an expansion team before. So he was the only one that had an experience. But everybody else, I think it was a new thing for us, and we all truly enjoyed it.
Could you talk to me about your position and role with the club, being somebody with a background that was fitting for the club, also the MLS background that was fitting for the club, and being a leader? What was your role this season in being that leader on and off the pitch?
Yeah, I mean, the role on the pitch, I feel like, I could have done a little bit more to help the team out. Didn't get the contribution that I expected from myself, so that's something that I need to challenge myself and be better at. Off the field, we have an incredible team, really good guys on the team, lots of leaders too. So we all just a collaborative effort to just bring everybody up to speed, even guys that hadn't played in this league but had enough experience to, help the young guys around, help the entire group, just know the expectations for the club and like the culture that we're setting, because we know this is the first year and we wanted to build a base where, the coaches can build on, future players can build on, and I think we did a pretty good job at that, and we have a really cohesive locker room. So hopefully the next year the challenge is to maintain that level right early when we get in, and then build on for the rest of the time here and make sure it's something that's sustainable for years to come.
And what is your contract status for next season? Do you hope to return with SanDiego?
Yeah, it's been a great experience so far, and still everything is still in discussion right now. It's been good for me. I still think there's like more that I could do for the club, and just gonna have to wait to see how everything shapes out. But it's a great place, and I would love to be back. So.
And with the academy going on right now, and you haven't been a part of Right to Dream, here at the end of the season, what have you thought about the build-out of this club and the academy?
It's been great, just to have the integration with the young guys. We all share the same meal room, so we see them all the time when we go to breakfast, sometime on lunches, and there's been times where they've come into our meetings as well to watch us like break down our gameplay and all that stuff, and we see them on campus all the time. So it's great, and a lot of them are coming up to us sometimes with questions, or just to have a normal conversation as mentors or like a big brother, somebody to look up to, and if they have any questions to ask about that. So it's been really good mesh, and the kids have done really well, and coming along pretty well so far.
What are some of the lessons that you hope some of those young players and also young players on the team learned from this season?
I mean, first of all, I want them to be proud of what we did this year. I know it hurts losing out and not making to the final, but I think they should use that as a drive. This is the first time it's like a big, it's not a setback because it's a great year, but that was not what our goal was. Our goal was to make it to the final and win it, and then we fell short of that. So just to use that as fuel in the off season, make sure they get their rest, but also when you're training, it's just like now the expectation is set that we're not settling for anything less than what we did this year, and everybody knows what it's going to take to climb to the next level. So proud of the season, and then be ready because it only gets tougher next year.
And it was a long season. What would you say was the most memorable moment for you, whether it was on or off the pitch?
Most memorable, I think it's just been all the playoff games and just seeing the atmosphere sold out. The fans have been amazing, giving us support throughout, and just how the team just like came together, and like how great we were playing towards the end of the season was some really beautiful football, and hopefully that continues next year. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.